Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states and Puerto Rico. Today's topic is a good one, fixed index annuity versus S&P 500. I gotta breathe. I gotta chill for a second because there's so much, as they say in Ireland, big C behind the camera, there's so many shenanigans going on with the indexed annuity pitch that it is my duty to clear all this nonsense up, all these Johnny Appleseed agents out there selling the dream. I'm going to squash all of that and talk about the contractual reality. So fixed index annuity versus S&P 500 after this. So the go-go product right now is fixed index annuities. If you make a 70 on your state insurance license, you get to sell it and turn into master of the universe. Market upside with no downside. Principal protection with market participation. Garbagiolio. I mean, if there was ever a product that has made my hair gray because of how people have been taken advantage of, it's fixed index annuities. And we have nothing against them. I probably sell more index annuities than 99% of all agents on the planet, but we only sell them as a delivery system for income riders if you need income in the future. But the question of the day is fixed index annuity versus S&P. Typical pitches, sales pitches, you get this upfront bonus, Mr. Jones, and the index annuity is invested in, which is wrong, invested in the S&P 500 index. And if it goes up, then we're going to share in that gain versus the S&P 500. S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the country. Okay? You're buying quality. You're buying diversification. S&P 500 over the last probably 50, 60 years averaged 7 to 9% if you were a buy and hold person. Might be more than that now because we're in a raging bull market. But understand that S&P 500, like if you buy that mutual fund or if you buy the ETF, over 50% of the returns are dividends. I want you to just think about that for a second. 50% of the returns dividend-based. That's great, right? Let's go to the index annuity side. And the S&P 500 index that you purchase, 0 dividends. Has nothing to do with dividends. It's a snapshot of the price on the day you bought it, and typically with most index annuities, that contract anniversary date on the same day that you can lock in gains. Those other 364 days with most index annuities, you're what I call an annuity eunuch. You can't do anything. Did I get your attention? So you're slave to the day over here. You're slave to the day. I had a guy call me the other day, his index annuity, I guess he thought it was up, and then he called me, why did I get a 0 return? I said, because that last 2 weeks was a bad 2 weeks, and you know that day that you locked in was a bad day. You're slave to the day. Good luck on the day. So the question is, S&P 500 index on the index annuity, no dividends. 1 day per year you can lock it in. S&P 500 mutual fund, dividends, liquid. Lock it in, take profits whenever you want. If you want real market growth, and this example didn't just smack you in the forehead, real market growth doesn't occur with annuities, with index annuities. Doesn't make them bad, they're CD products. They were put on the planet in 1995 to create CD returns. And guess what they've done since 1995 historically? CD returns. Now what happens over here, a lot of times, they'll have a teaser rate that first year, but if you read the specimen policy or the policy that you get after you bought it after your exciting steak dinner seminar event, you can read in there that the annuity company can change the rules on the cap spreads and participation rates at their discretion without talking to you or the agent. We love indexed annuities for the delivery system of the income rider they provide. If you said, Stan, I need, we asked 2 questions. What do you want the money to contractually do? When do you want those contractual guarantees to start? From those 2 answers, if you said we need income, starting 5 years from now, then we're going to quote all income riders and deferred income annuities, but all income riders, and the index annuity is the delivery system. We don't look at the caps and the spreads and the participation rate and the S&P 500. We look at the income rider. That's the guarantee. That's all we care about. And if you go to my site, you can run income rider quotes. If you sign up for index annuity quote, you get to talk to me. There's no quote on an index annuity. You get to talk to me so I can walk you off the damn cliff. Excuse my French. But a lot of you out there go, I'm going to get market upside with no downside. Oh, really, Gordon Gekko? I don't think so. Not going to happen like that. You're not the smartest guy in the room. If you bought it for the income rider, great. But a lot of you are saying, well, they showed me the illustrations. I'm going to get 8, 10, 11, 12, 7, 6, 5. Sounds good to me. That's not guaranteed, player. Remember, you buy an annuity for what it will do, not what it might do. Let me go further here, though. What's bothering me here on the index annuity pitch is now they're saying, Mr. Jones, this index has returned XYZ and it's fantastic, and you've never heard of the index before. You know why? Because they made it up out of thin air. They did an algorithm for a return and then they named it unicorn. Sir, this unicorn index, I'm making that up, but they have some fancy name. This unicorn index is returned, and it's only been, if you'd owned it 10 years ago, you'd have made this. Well, it's only been on the planet for 3 months. How can you run a 10-year back-tested number? That should be illegal. That's misleading. If you said, Stan, should I buy the S&P 500 indexed annuity or the S&P 500? If I said, are you looking for market growth? And you said yes, S&P 500, not the indexed annuity. If you said, well, I kind of want to protect the principal, I'm okay with some CD rate returns, okay, buy the indexed annuity. But you'd be better off buying a MYGA, a multi-year guarantee annuity, fixed rate annuity, the annuity industry version of a CD, because you can get a better return. If you really want to know the down and dirty about indexed annuities, I wrote an owner's manual on it. Go ahead and download that. You can go down the rabbit hole in my YouTube channel and type in fixed index annuities. You'll see bunches of stuff. I've done videos on cap spreads and participation rates. I've done all that. But the bottom line is they're not market growth products. They're not securities. They're fixed annuities. That's okay. S&P 500, if you want market growth, go get it. Set it and forget it, as they say. One last thing. Watch this video. It's important. I did one on artificial intelligence and how it's going to affect the annuity business and primarily lifetime income. Give that a look because you need to know that's happening. I'm the only one out here talking about this, and it's not because I'm out there and some crazy man. No, this is coming, and I know that I'm on the right track of the hate mail that I'm getting from the industry. That means I'm on the right track. When they start saying, Stan, you're way off base, you have no clue what you're talking about, that means I'm on the right track. So you're going to start seeing articles start, how AI is lengthening life expectancies. Those are being put in the media to set the stage to lengthen out life expectancies. Watch that video. Hey, see you next time.